Welcome, everyone, to the Azure and AI Show. This is our 10-month anniversary. This is the last show for October. We started this in January. Frank Falvey, myself, and Solomon. And we are now celebrating 10 months of the Azure and AI Show. Solomon, it's great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you so much for carrying on with the show with Frank and also Reddy. I really appreciate you guys for what you guys are doing. And yeah, I think for now I would see how to come back fully and start doing my presentation. It's been a very busy schedule for me. And yeah, I think I'm back now.
Yeah, absolutely. The community is always here. We've had plenty of guests over the 10 months. And Pratap, I know you've been one of our frequent guests, and we've had females and people all over the world who have joined us. So I can share your screen here for you
Yes. Yeah.
and turn it over.
So yes. So 1 second. Yeah. So first of all, a very good evening, good afternoon, good morning to each one of you, those who are joining today's session. So, and one more thing I have to say, a very congratulations to the all the speakers and all the enthusiasts of the Azure AI show. We are completed 10 months of the Azure AI show, and I'm really happy to be a part of this journey. And today, I mean Frank Falvey is not there, but we have to schedule this event for instead of Frank. But today I gone through some the tutorial of how to create a machine learning workspace, and I have some how to create from the designer methods and in the Azure machine learning portal, and how to do one sample model and hugging face model in Azure machine learning. I have to tell you the each one of you in the detail, so I have to go through the quickly go for the demo purpose. Okay, now, so I think I'm audible to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yes. So, 1 second. Yeah, so before going to the machine learning and everything, and so we need some subscription details. We can go for your details like so email, and so first of all you need to enable your free trial subscription or pay as you go or student account. Once you enable the subscription, then only you can utilize any service in Azure machine learning and Azure portal. So one thing, today we have to create one Azure machine learning workspace, and how to create one workspace, and we can deploy one model in the workspace, and looking forward that. Okay, so first thing we need to go for, and we can type machine learning. Yeah, so once we type machine learning, I mean just type a machine, and so where we can see that Azure machine learning, just tap on this one. So I'm already created one I love Azure. Okay, so I created one workspace, but I need to tell you how to create one more workspace. I would like to tell you. So we can, so once we tap on here Azure machine learning, so we have the option called create button. So you just tap onto the create button. We have the new two options, another two options. So one is a new workspace and one is for new registry. Just tap on new workspace. So we need to create one workspace for the deploying any model. Okay, so I have the free trial subscription. I need to go for this one. So if you want to create any if you have any pay as you go, or whether it be MVP, so you can go for your subscription account. Okay, then I have the resource group. You need to select a resource group. So I have already Azure AI show resource group, and two more are there. I need to select Azure AI show. Okay, then I can give one unique name. So whatever the name that you have to given to you, I mean given to this workspace, that is very unique one. Okay, I mean that is not to collapse with any of them. Okay, I need to give uh, uh, Azure AI show anniversary. So I need to give like that. So that name is a unique one. So, and you can select the region. So if you select any region according to your time standards and everything, and so we have lots of regions. We already know that in 140 countries we have the 60 plus regions, and we need to go for each one of them. And storage account, you need to select any of them. So I have to select Azure AI show, and defaultly they are creating one storage account, and key vault will be default one, and so they can create one some default registries as well. And now I can go for the networking. So in the networking you can select, and if you want to go for the private with the yeah, private with internet outbound or private with approved outbound, you can go for one, but I need to go for public one. So I need to, whatever the workspaces I created, that will be in public only. And then I can go for the encryption. So I can do all the things in default. So if you want to change anything, you can go give me encryption details or identity details, you can change according to your one. And so finally, once you given all the details, so I just given the default things, I just change my workspace name and everything. And so once the validation is completed, so you need to tap on to create button. So okay, so once you tap onto the create button, it will go for the initializing the deployment. Once the initializing the deployment process, it will take so hardly 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm already created one model that is so I love Azure model. So I need to go this one. So I'm already created a I love Azure one. So I just tap on this one. So once we chop on to the I love Azure, so where we can see that launch studio. Okay, I just tap onto the launch studio. So once launch studio, it will redirect to the machine learning studio. Okay, so here, so we have the lots of I mean after 2023 we have the lots of updates in Azure machine learning. So we have everything, like we have the default is some GPT models and lambda models. I mean lambda means Facebook lambda models, and we have lots of the I mean all the everything that will be integrated in this Azure machine learning. And so we have some integrate. I mean they have some workspaces. We have some workspaces. We have some model catalog. So this is very very important. The model catalog is the main topic we have to cover in the machine learning studio. So the upcoming session that will be, so I hosted the one event. I have to host one event in November. That is a very big one. So we have the Dan and Frank, you will be there, of course, so if it is possible. And so we have to create one big event. So approximately 3000 people are waiting for this event. So in that one, everything will be related to machine learning studio only. Okay, in the model catalog, so we have the lots of catalog announcements out there. Azure OpenAI models and Discover Vision models introducing Lambda. So we have lots of information create. So for example, let's see, we have to tap onto Azure OpenAI. Just everything related to Azure OpenAI will be displayed here. So we have meta formats, and we can everything will be displayed for the meta. So this is the filters where we can do. And so we go for the Hugging Face, how to create one Hugging Face model and everything. So I just tap onto the Hugging Face. I just go for the text generation, and I just tap on to Falcon 7B. And we have to give some. So if you want to deploy any model or Falcon models and everything, you can directly tap onto the deployment endpoint or everything, or you can go for the see the original model card. You can tap on here. So original model card will be looks like this and everything. And one thing, yeah. So this is about the model card. I would like to tell you that model. Wait a second. So if you want to tap on deploy model for the real-time endpoint, so we have to give some information. You can give some virtual mission spaces and everything. You can select accordingly, but it is very very huge cost. You can select, and it will delete very very quickly. So because your credentials will be lost very very quickly. So you need to select, and you can drop that one. Okay. Mm, don't have enough quota. Okay, okay, so I don't have enough quota to create this one. But so I would like to, so once you have to create the deployment model, you can select any template and virtual mission and instant count. And so if you have the endpoint, so if you want to create in the one new endpoint, or if you want to have any if you have the existing endpoint, you can give that one. So if you once you given the details, and it will be moved for the I mean Hugging Face deployment model. Okay, once you can do, you can utilize the Hugging Face endpoints and everything. Okay, so now I can see you tell you how to use the designer models, and we have everything. Okay, so we have the Azure machine learning. So one second, yeah. So every time, so we have the lots of assets in the building blocks of pipelines are called assets, we everyone know. So in the Azure machine learning, in it will include so data, model, and components. So we have the designer has an asset on the left side, where we can set all you need to create your pipelines and everything you can do. But so we can do we can do today how to create one data set and how to create one component and everything in the designer model, and one pipeline draft and everything. So in the pipeline job, and we can do some custom models in the designer model and everything. And we have to clone one existing pipeline job and everything we can do in this model. So I would like to tell you how to create one designer model. So I have to select one image classification using densenet. So I just tap on here, and one second, it will take some time. Hardly it will take 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, not that much. So here only, so the whatever the things we can do in the prompt engineering, so everything that will be displayed. Okay, now I would like to tell you, one second. Yeah, so we have some the data. If you want to add any, so I'm already added the Azure AI show data. So I just given some the data like, hi everyone, today we completed a 10 months of the successful Azure AI show journey. Okay, so I need to use this data. I can use easily, I can use this data. So for example, I need to add this data to any of them. Okay, for example, so I need to, yeah. So we have the lots of information, right? So here, so if you have the image in transformation, split the directory, apply image transformation, and Python models, train PyTorch model and score image models and everything. So what I can do is I need to update the Azure AI show information. 10 months of the Azure AI information to this designer model. Okay. So what can I do? I need to make one prompt flow. Okay. I just tap on here, and yeah, okay, I need to, yes. So it is the, a drag and drop. So for example, this is the evaluate model, this is the Azure AI show mode. So if you want to see the preview, one second, sorry, just tap on something different. Yeah, so if you want to preview the data, you can go for this one. And if you want to, so I just given some so if you want to add any data, table or data, or so any data. So for example, I just given some raw data here. It will guided some information, number of columns and number of rows, and I just given some raw data only. It will previews like that. For example, if you want to add any data, so how many speakers, or how many the topic and everything that you can able to do by using this Azure machine learning designer flows. So if you want to evaluate the model performance and everything, you can drop and drag and accordingly. So apply the transformation, and we have lots of information. You just to go through, if you want to see the data, if you want to go through the data, if you want to everything. Whatever you are able to do something about this designer. If you want to store the data, if you want to create the data, if you want everything, that will be able to do in this machine learning designer workspace. Okay, so I have already, so this is about adding some own data here. So once we add, and you can clone your model and everything that you can do. Okay, so or otherwise you can configure your configure and submit your data and everything. If you want to select the basic experimentation number and experimenting and runtime, input date, input and output information and everything. So it will take some time, and it will cost you a lot and everything. But I would like to show you, so how to use the components and using. So this is the, so here we don't have the, so we have the only some information only. We can add some data. For example, this is all are the default one. So you just to drag and drop, so if you whatever the data you need, you just like that. So this is the only default one only, how to showcase in front of you. So if you want to drag and drop, right? So now what can I do? I just to give this one data like that only. You just, so the, so whatever the relevant data only. So this is not the relevant data, that's why this is not combined with this dense net and everything like that. So I need to, collaborate this one. So but I'm unable to add this data because so the data is irrelevant. So that's why unable to do. So this is how we can, so in the prompt flow also we can do the everything in this prompt flow only by, I mean, coding part and integration part and everything that we can do. So like that only the designer models also we can do in the backend, we everything that we can do in these models. Okay, so this is all about the designer in the how in the one model, I mean design a basic model. So later we can discuss more about it, will takes lots of time. So this is all about, so if you want to add n number of things, so you can add like this. So you can add so we everything related to this one only, I mean you can add like this one. Okay, okay, so don't bother about it, it is everything will be related to this one only. So you need to drag and wrap, and you can accordingly you can change it. So the you can make the model a very very beautiful by using these flows and everything. So this is all about this Azure. So I just added some information about the 1 second. Yeah, so I just added some Azure AI show model. I mean, sorry, in this data model, I just added some Azure AI model. So to this model, I just yeah, so I just added, I just I mean, I just relevant to the some other information. I just added the flow of this model. Okay, so this is the basic thing about the designer. How can we do and how can we update the information and everything about in this one. Okay, so this is all about this one. So yeah, that's all for Dan about this one, about designer in the machine learning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice presentation.
Thank you,
So
Salman.
yeah, so there's something I always I've always wanted to ask you.
So I'm not get
Y-
you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. So I
Yep.
was saying, yeah, I'm asking a question regarding AI. So the question I want to
Mm.
ask is, if we probably have beginners watching the show and they want to get started in Azure
Yeah.
AI, like which advice or where will you point them to? Like what will you tell them to start looking out for if they are trying to start their journey in AI?
Yes, of course. I will prefer our Azure AI show definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So no, I mean, if probably they which tools will you tell them to start with? Like what can they start with as a beginner if they are
As a
building, they
big,
want to, yeah.
yeah, my as my point of view. So I'm also beginner. So what I do is so probably whatever the service I need to learn, the first thing I just refer is the Microsoft Learn only. So the Microsoft Learn, so we have lots of articles on each service. We can go through that, we can learn, and we can give feedback to the Microsoft products. And once we can go through the learning part, and we can come back, we have to go on the hands on the same service. Okay, so this is the only way we can first you can go for Microsoft learning particle, I mean part, and then come back to the hands on. So once we can done, and we can, so everything like vice versa, so you can learn and you can do some demo practice and everything. So that is good, right? So and then we have to go for the some YouTube tutorials as well, and we have lots of are things, right? But one thing is that first to go through the articles, I mean Azure, I mean mission learn, sorry, Microsoft articles, and then come back to some basic so you just create some Azure account, and then you can practice on how to, what is blob storage, what is virtual machine, and we can practice like that. So whatever we have to learn some questions and everything, I mean sorry, about some articles and everything, we can practice on the real time. So without practicing the Azure mission, Azure the services, we can't do anything. Where we can learn anything, that is waste only, I mean in my point of view only. I don't say so whether it is everything is good for everyone, I don't know exactly.
Okay, that is great.
Yeah.
So basically, I've
Yeah.
also been recently, we know that AI is everywhere. Copilot for GitHub, Copilot in M365. You use Edge, Bing, you're seeing Copilot everywhere.
Yes.
So I I have been advising people recently that you
Yes,
don't
yes, of
just
course
need to
that.
be in the cloud. Yeah, you don't just need to be in the cloud. Try to just extend your knowledge and start going to AI. And I'm not just advising people, I'm also applying the advice to myself. I'm
Yeah,
also
we
trying
you
to get
just
into.
yeah we just advised everyone to please go through, and you can ask to the Copilot. They can retrieve all the responses, right?
Yeah, there's a lot happening. And
Uh,
for me, the events that happened, that's the Microsoft Build AI Day
yes,
in London Excel. I saw a
yeah,
lot and I was very impressed. Like there's a
yes.
lot happening. Yeah, you can speak.
That is yeah this is I mean the copilots and GPT models, and I mean LLM models are very user friendly, right? We can friendly, so whatever things we have to ask for the any MVP or anything, so directly we can ask to the copilot, directly we can ask for the LLM models. They will directly give the information without, I mean, all the information without so we have, so for example, let's see, so I'm from I mean I'm from India, so I need to ask in the foreign people, so I have some hesitate to, so how can I ask you the something else? So directly I can ask for the LLM models or Copilot models. They directly give the information, right, without asking to the some people and everything, right? So that's a
Yeah,
great idea.
yeah, it's actually amazing what the whole AI is doing. And I would say one of the biggest win for Microsoft this year is adopting the AI
Yeah.
like very fast, because
Yes. Yes.
I think that's like one of the big win I would say for Microsoft, because I know they went hard with AI. They didn't wait
Uh,
for other people to start saying AI before they started pushing out stuffs for AI in the cloud. And to be frank, when I was watching, like I was listening to some of the speakers, I I was actually impressed. So I already started the AI journey, but listening to these speakers, seeing them doing live demos, seeing stuff working, seeing how Copilot is working in Virtual Studio Code, like it was just mind blowing. A lot was
yes.
just
Yes.
happening. Yeah. So, and there's something someone said: if
Mm.
for every time they say co-pilots in that event, we take a cup of water, would all be
Mm.
dehydrated. Because it
Yeah.
was just co-pilots AI, co-pilots AI, co-pilots AI. So, and yeah, I think once I
Yes.
learn very well, I'll start talking about it. Yeah, you can go.
Yes, yes, that's why I mean Microsoft introduced everywhere a Copilot, so we can see. So we have to see the Edge or anything. We can see the Copilot. We can go for the Power BI. We can see the Copilot. We can go for I mean any services of Microsoft product. We can see the Copilot, Copilot, Copilot. The Copilot plays a key role in the AI part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the co-pilot is even in the M365 now, like everywhere, even the browser. I'm just looking at Edge. For me, I always use Chrome and Edge. So one of the reasons I use Edge right from time is because I just feel, when something is just balanced. Like if you want something that is stable, right? I go for Edge. But recently, Edge is just beyond just something that I want that is stable. As you're using Edge, you're probably seeing Bing giving you suggestions like, oh, what do you want to do? Like you're having that interaction. So, you know, the AI that is all over the place in Microsoft, I think is something that is
Yes, yes.
amazing. And I don't want to join the train when the train is already moving. So that's why I'm actually getting involved. Like I've been going through Microsoft Learn, to be frank. Like I started from like the AI, that's the 102, AI 102. Yeah. I've I've been
Yeah.
going through the learning part for some time. Like I'm just trying to digest a lot. Then during the learning process, there's something just keeps telling me in my brain, I think you have to go back to writing like real code again. Because looking at REST APIs, you have to call APIs endpoints, and going back to VS Code, I just feel I might just go back to writing my codes and seeing how to embed those AIs on some of the stuffs I'll be building. So is actually nice. And yeah, I hope I would have the strength, the time, so I could just start talking about AI and Azure together instead of just the
Yeah.
Azure is
Yeah.
actually very big.
Right.
Here I
Yeah,
can go.
I mean, Yeah, Dan, if you don't mind, can I leave and I will come back in 10 15 minutes? Or because
Yeah.
I have to celebrate my birthday today. So it
Yeah.
will be
Oh,
4 minutes to left there. So I need to go. Okay. If you don't
oh,
mind,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
and yeah, my streaming is going on. I mean, I just added my streams as well. That will be going, and so I just drop. Okay,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
yeah, just yeah. Okay,
that's
okay,
fine.
fine. So okay,
Yeah.
sure.
I do have a window here that I can share.
Okay.
We can put up a is the audio working?
No, I can't hear the audio.
Okay, I think I did not share my audio correctly. So let's try that again. Share. Also share audio. Share tab audio.
It's working now.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on, y'all? This is Kid from Kid and Play, and this is a special message, hopefully uplifting message to the one and only Teresa Cyrus. All right, this message is coming from me, the KID, and from Dan Ray, who I think you know. Okay, word around town is that Teresa, you are one of Microsoft's 3,000 MVPs, which, as you know, stands for most valuable professionals. And I played this salt and pepper track because I've heard you know how to express yourself very well. You're a great public speaker and a trainer, getting your workout on. We love that. Shout out to you. Shout out to Dan. Best of luck to you moving forward. Okay. I heard you appreciated the video we did for Michael Brown, the Juneteenth event. So we out here. Sorry it's a little bit late, but just know that on behalf of Playing Myself, we love you. Keep doing your thing. Keep being an MVP from the KID. Hey, let's go.
Oh, that's
Teresa,
awesome.
Teresa and I spoke and met for the first time in Florida, and we did a session on public speaking and becoming an MVP in Florida at CollabCon, and I had requested videos from three pretty famous people that I knew and grew up with, and two of those three were turned into quick videos for Teresa. So here's the second one.
Yeah, this is the Ed Love Experience. My name is Ed Love. Oh, what's happening? My name is Ed Lover. How y'all doing? Teresa Cyrus, first of all, I just want to congratulate you on becoming a Microsoft MVP. It is well deserved. Now, what I want to tell you is that you need to go out there and kill it. Kill it like you've never killed it before. You know, there's only 3,000 MVPs of Microsoft like you worldwide. 3,000? That's a small number considering how many people deal with or work with Microsoft in the whole entire world. So congratulations to you once again on becoming a Microsoft MVP. And I know you are going to kill it. Kill it, Teresa. Do that. Goodbye, son. Let me get back to work.
So those are two people that shouted out Teresa's recent MVP award, and we all want to thank her for that. Solomon, I know yours was just a few months prior to hers, right?
Yeah, mine was April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say hers was August. So I think, maybe a few months in between, but yeah, it's a celebratory time for us as a community with so many either nominated and in process, many that have become MVPs, and wanted to share those greetings with Teresa. I know she is involved in putting together our Journey to the Cloud, which is, Solomon, where all this started, right? Even before we had the Azure and AI show, we had a monthly, maybe it started every other week, I want to say, right?
Yeah, it was, I think it was monthly we started with.
Yeah.
And then, no, we're having it more than
Yeah,
once a month.
I want to say we had it every other week for a while.
Yeah.
And then I think this year, because Frank started this show, we decided let's only do the journey to the cloud once a month. But I think we were doing it like maybe 2 times a month in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning we were doing it like 2 times a month, and we had a lot of speakers then too. So I think it actually started the AI show. Yeah,
it's been hard to remember or grasp. Like, I don't even remember when we started.
You know what?
Journey to the cloud. It's got to be over 2 years, right?
I probably 2001. Yeah, I think around 2001. Yeah,
so it's been a while since the communities come together under that journey to the cloud, and then the Microsoft Speakers Club became the Microsoft Speakers Hub, and Teresa helped us with not only kicking off a much more, I guess I'll just call it organized and
rebranding.
Deep rebranding, better organized and more prolific newsletter. Roxana's got involved with the newsletter editing. So between the two of them, we've grown exponentially with both guests and people that are getting involved with the community, which is great. And it's going to be fun to see how this, continues. We're a year into Microsoft's journey with Microsoft Designer as well. They announced Designer last year at Ignite. Next month, we have Ignite in person again in Seattle. So
I wish I was there.
Yeah,
I wish I was there.
Did you attend the AI day that was in the UK then in person?
Yeah, I was there in person. Yeah, I met a lot of people, and I also attended the DDD mentorship at Nottingham. Yeah, so I met Claire for the first time there in Nottingham. I met Peter. Who else? Like, I know I met different people. I'm trying to remember someone else. You invited her to the show to speak about Copilot. She's from Nigeria, but she moved to Malta.
Okay. Rachel?
Rachel, I met her.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, she came she was in London. Yeah, I met her. So
Rachel had Derek Johnson, who's the project owner of Designer, and she did an interview with him, and we invited her to the show because she had just such a great conversation with him, and we were all in on Designer here at the Azure and AI, the AI side of the Azure and AI show. So Microsoft Designer has been one of our consistent things that we've talked about for the last 10 months. And Teresa is all in on Designer now, doing all sorts of videos. And we've had a really, really wonderful 10 months here. And it's great to have you back. I know you said that there were, there were some challenges that have gone on. But
yeah, a lot of stuff went on, but I'm actually happy to be back. And why I was trying to pull through, I didn't want to, just drop the people I was mentoring because of a lot that was happening. So while I was going through all of that, I was still just holding. I was just holding them, but I officially ended the mentorship. So I'm also trying to catch up with stuff. And that's why I'm actually using this opportunity to build my, my skill on the AI side of Azure. So I've been also learning, I sleep very late now because I'm going hard on the AI. Yeah, and I went to actually see stuff for myself in the Microsoft Build AI Day, and boom, I was like, no stopping. So yeah, but now I will try to see how to clear my Saturdays, and I will always be in the show. And I'm also happy on Saturdays because now my working hours is just by this time. So I'm working the Eastern time now.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's just if it's on Friday, there's probably gonna be something serious at work that I'll be attending to. So I'll probably not be able to like shuffle both of them. But now that it's on Saturdays, I can always just clear my stuff. And for now, I'm not really mentoring. I'm just thinking of how I can rebrand the mentoring and come back again. But I would need to clear my tables also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the reality of a lot of things. Like Teresa and I have been, back and forth on different things in both our personal and professional lives. And there's times where, the only way to make something like this consistent is to have those community members that can help out, so whether it's you and me or you and Frank or Teresa and Roxana or 3 or 4 of us on a show. Pratap has been really helpful in coming up with presentations. It's just helpful to have those other people. So you're not like, well, what am I going to talk about this week? Or am I free this Saturday? I had a couple days where I was traveling and might have been able to pop on, but certainly couldn't, give a whole demo on a plane or from an airport. I think I did 1 week where I was in an airport.
So I also think you did that to a particular time with Matthew. I think both of you were somewhere. Yeah. So, but I also tried to I had to tell him like you have to speak in that show. So the reason I had to do that is because one thing I think the community, the beauty of having other people involved in the community is just like you said. Imagine I'm the only one just doing everything for the AI show. What would probably happen if I get busy with life and I did not expect that to come up? So I'll probably just say, okay, for now, nothing is going to be happening on this page. It's just going to be off. But the way we are building it, I'm off. I know somebody else is going to be speaking while I'm not available at the moment. And then when I come back, if there's availability for me to speak, I can come in and say, okay, I have to speak and all of that. And most of the people I mentor, I hope some of them would come to speak in the show because I've also been, mentoring them. They should be confident when they speak. And for me, I tell them one way I learn is by speaking. Like basically when I started doing live events, there's one thing I tell myself, I'm not going to do like a demo before the event. I would not prepare myself. I just want to go and see how much I know it live. Right. And if I make any mistake live there during the live event, I know I would never forget it. So most times that was what I was doing. So I just come and sometimes I just get stuck. But if I can pass it on the live event, like if I can just get through that particular place where I'm stuck, there's no way. Like, because I know it is live and everything in me is out there trying to make this work. So for me, the live event actually built me also because I know training also helps because if I'm not training people, I'll probably not be going to look at what storage pool is. I'll probably not be going to check some group policies because I've done all of that. But if you're working in an organization, how many times do you have to go set up a storage pool? How many times do you have to go? Most times you might not even touch some part of Microsoft if you're working in an organization. So for me, the training is just like, okay, reflect back, just take a step back. Have Microsoft changed anything here? Like for some time, I've not been working with Microsoft security because of the places I started working with. I knew I was working somewhere where I was dealing with security, Microsoft and all of it. But for some time, there was this break. Everything was already configured. Nobody's going back there. But during my training, one good thing I gained from it was I could see those updates from Microsoft and I could work on it like, I'm in the organization. I could go back and tell them, okay, this is how we do this. This is how we do this. Oh, this place have been changed and all of that. So I think the mentorship, the training and all of that. Yeah, Teresa, thank you so much for the warm welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I'm also trying to see how most of them they can join the show. Like I've spoken to them, like just try. There's no harm in, like, I know you might make mistake, but those mistakes, they are just stuffs that would build you. If you come on the show, probably you're trying to make mistake. I was telling someone, nobody's going to flog you. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's going to do.
I know we've had several guests that have come on more like this, more just like share your journey, share your, your passion, or what are you doing, and not feeling the pressure of having to do the demo. But I would agree, like some of the demos, I'd much rather do a demo, live, and whether I've done it before or whether I'm revisiting it, like you said, it's something that I've done in the past, but I haven't done recently. Sometimes you do take a risk that something doesn't work. Like during Pratap's, I was just playing around with the machine learning demo we had done with ROC Speak. And like last time, it wanted to like pause out at about 83%. And I've just let it sit on my computer for, I don't even know how much time now. It's probably been, 5 to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But the site actually finally produced the.
I remember the site.
Yeah. So this was like 20 seconds.
Really?
Of video, and it took probably 5 minutes to compute. But it gives you things like your smile intensity. It gives you information about audio and your loudness and your pitch. It gives you word count, word alignment, and can do all sorts of different calculations based on up to 2 minutes of sample video. So you can use this site, machineinteraction.ur.rochester.edu, or you can get to the same site with the much more friendly rocspeak.com, and it redirects you into the page. So we did this demo, I don't even know how many months ago, but it's been a site that's been up for years at this point. But you can go into practice. You can tell it that you have, your mic and your video, and then you can do up to 2 minutes where you record yourself presenting something. And then it gives you all of that type of feedback right from within this website. So we'll be sure to share that link with everyone as well. And just giving it a little bit of time. Like I did the demo earlier. I figured if it doesn't work, I won't show it. If it works, we'll, maybe share the link with everybody and not have to make a call to figure out why it's not working.
The last time, did you mail them? Did you send an email the last time?
I did not. I didn't even.
Okay.
I didn't even end up sending an email because I think it was just that I didn't give it enough time. I was doing a live demo of it, and I was just like probably not giving it enough time to finish up. But it was a lot longer than I assumed it would be.
How long did this take? The one you just showed me?
The one I just showed you, I think, was a 20-second video, and it took over 5 minutes to process. So I just went back to the tab after we spoke, and sometime between the time that I left at 83% and it was just hanging there, and coming back to the tab, it has completed. So you can't be in a hurry for this site. It doesn't take like 1 or 2 minutes. It's a pretty involved, whatever they're gathering or observing. And that's probably why they have a 2-minute limit, right? If it takes that long to just get and distill all this information about your smiling and your gestures and other aspects of the speech, 2 minutes is going to take probably longer than 20 seconds.
I see. I know the last time we tried it, we all got stuck at the same percentage.
Yeah.
So, but the last time, I think probably that might have been a problem, because I remember even after the show, I left mine running.
Okay.
So
and it didn't work.
It didn't work. So
Yeah.
so I guess it's their engineers are probably working also.
Yeah, there was a point where it wouldn't even let you use it. So I did email and found like a contact for the web page or the department. Just sent them a note, said, hey, is this research project done, or is it something you can fix? And they ended up changing something on their end to get it working again. So I think it is an active project that they're still working on, or that they have somebody that supports, the website and the code and everything else. So it's worth checking out. And you have to have a very small amount that you want feedback on. But if you're looking for that, maybe opener or elevator pitch, it's a great place to get some feedback on it.
Oh, great. That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. How is your birthday going?
Yeah, it's good.
Wow. We're actually birthday months, mates, because mine is on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just celebrated and come back within few minutes. We have a live, right? That's why I just come back very soon.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. That's great.
Yeah.
That was great. So I just wanted to ask Dan, how is the co-pilot going? Since you're from the M365 apps, are you also playing with the updates as they're coming up?
I have not received access to like the full Microsoft 365 Copilot, but I've seen demos and continued to read about it. The one that I'm probably most excited about personally is PowerPoint, just because I can think of a lot of situations where I am tasked with, and I can use some of the old tricks in PowerPoint. Like there's the ability to take a outline and turn that into slides, which a lot of times if I'm doing training and I'm told these are the things you need to talk about, I need at least one slide for each of those topics, right? Well, being able to feed that into PowerPoint and just say, turn this outline of 15 points into 15 slides saves me a ton of time. Because even if I don't want other information, but to remember those 15 points that I need to touch on in training is helpful to have slides for. And then once I have the slides, I can always go in and add, some screenshots or some images, or use Designer to come up with some things based on the words in the titles. Copilot has an opportunity to take that whole process and simplify it even further. So once Copilot for PowerPoint is probably the first one I will try if I'm given access to all of them. But with Word and Teams and Outlook and even Excel, there's a lot of different use cases that have been shown.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of use cases for each of them. And also, I don't know if you heard about the deal Microsoft is going to be having with AWS, Amazon.
Really?
I think I heard something. Which one are you referring to?
The $1 billion deal they signed with Microsoft, Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I heard about this one.
I think you can check it online. So I saw it online. So I think it still has to do with the idea of the whole Copilot and M365 apps. So let me just check if I can see it.
Oh, that's good, right?
Yeah, that's a good news.
Yeah, that is only because of the Copilot era.
Yeah, Microsoft actually fast in adopting the AI.
Yes, I mean Microsoft is everywhere, so they can move at every part of that AI technologies.
Yeah, so I'm actually. Have you seen it? Dan, did you see
just looked it up. I just looked it up. I found it on Tech Radar.
Oh, okay. So that's the news.
Yeah.
So, but we're just hoping to see more stuffs. And to be frank, I know a lot of other stuffs they are coming out in terms of AI because I've been listening, I've been hearing stuffs and what Microsoft is coming up with. in terms of AI is just most people would not be expecting what they'll be seeing. So, and the good thing is, I don't want to be on the other side where I would just be looking at, oh, this can do this. This I want to see it do. I want to be doing it. So, yeah. So
I've been super excited to get access to Copilot for all of the Microsoft 365. I just recently, another MVP helped me troubleshoot my Windows 11 computer. And I was in the wrong insider ring or had, the wrong check boxes for Windows 11 to get the integrated Copilot for Windows. So I got that probably a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I saw it briefly, but it's very similar to the Copilot for Bing Chat. So it's not necessarily that much different from what I've seen. It's just that it's integrated into your taskbar in Windows 11. So instead of having to go to a website, type in something to get your Bing Chat experience, it's much tighter integrated with the operating system. But the Microsoft 365 stuff is what I'm really waiting for anxiously. And I've heard a couple people that have had access to it through early access customers. So if they're working for an early access customer and you have an account on their domain, you may have had early access to Copilot as well.
Yeah. So for me, the one I'm actually looking forward to, which is the GitHub. I think you need to see the Copilot with GitHub.
Yeah, I use GitHub just enough to post usually files or supplements to the classes that I teach. So next week I'm teaching AZ 900 and AZ 104. And then the following week, I think I'm doing MS 700, and I've got that scheduled maybe 2 or 3 times. So I'm updating all 3 of those supplemental materials, PowerPoints, but I haven't used the Copilot in GitHub too much. I've seen that released.
I had to send message to all my friends that they should.
Okay.
The software engineers I know, I had to tell them. I think it's time you should. At the event, there was a demo where they had to use the Copilot on a particular code that was written in VS Code. And it was just amazing, like in terms of what you can actually get from using the Copilot on your code. So it is something, I think it is something a lot of people, they need to be aware of, and they should get involved and start using the power from the Copilot itself. So I would look forward to also getting that, and I think I'll be going back a bit to programming. So
yeah, definitely.
I want to go back to see how good my hands are on coding. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm just logging into it to see if I can find it.
Okay.
It looks like they've got the Copilot docs, and Copilot's now available for developers, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think this is what getting involved in as a developer.
Yeah. And they've got the trial, and then I want to say they announced the pricing for this pretty early on. So some of the speculation before the pricing was announced for like the M365 version was how much is it going to cost? Well, this GitHub Copilot, and I want to say there was one other Copilot that was released earlier before the Microsoft 365, $30 per seat per month. But if you think about the radical changes this can make to make somebody more productive, $30 a month is a lot less than a virtual assistant or even an assistant in your
Exactly.
job. And if they can help you go through, or if this technology can help you go through your email more efficiently, meetings and summaries of meetings, summarize something you didn't have time to do, like this hour of the Azure and AI show. What if you could just pull out bullet points of here's 15 things that we talked about in the last hour and read those 15 things as opposed to listening to an hour. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come from this.
And this is just the beginning phase. Like this is just the start. So
yeah, definitely.
And that's why I'm actually telling myself I have to get involved. Yeah, just like I always say, I always imagine people that probably started with the cloud earlier when they were like, oh, there's something called Azure, there's something called. Imagine those that started by now. We know how much they must have gone in depth, because as it is growing, you're growing with it also. So I'll probably say, oh, I started with Copilot for this, and before you know, there's something else is coming out. You're just, and it's always easier also in the sense, if I'm talking about easier, it's just like someone that started learning about maybe Java without any of these frameworks, sorry, JavaScript without the frameworks.
Yeah.
And then we're saying, oh, there's a framework, and the person is like, oh, I'm learning this framework. And by the time he's done, they're saying, oh, another framework, he can easily just pick it up. But when you're just coming in and they just say, oh, this is JavaScript, we have this framework, we have this. There are a lot already. It's not like you can.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's not like you can learn. You will, but then it won't be like someone that just started with, okay, this is what we are starting with, the preview. Okay, now we are moving to this, we are adding this. So it will be easier for you to just flow with the whole stuff. And that's why I'm trying to get started also.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I know Frank has a goal of keeping these under an hour. One benefit of keeping our shows under an hour is we can also replay them on StreamYard. So instead of this having to be a Saturday for everybody or an early Sunday, depending on where you are, we can either replay these as if they were live, like a rebroadcast, or you can come back to this from the favorite channel you found this on, whether it's Frank's Twitter, his YouTube, Pratap's YouTube, or LinkedIn, or Frank's LinkedIn. We're on this week. We have the ability to broadcast up to 2 additional channels per community member. So if you'd like to come on and join us, you can actually join ahead of time and add up to 2 of your social channels to our broadcast. And with that, I'm going to formally end our show. And thanks again. Welcome back, Solomon.
Thank you.
Great to see you again.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.